Alright guys, in this video we're going to talk about rallying. So this is kind of part of combat. This is sort of pre-combat, but when we talk about movement, which is a separate video, and the combats are separate videos.
So the way that this works is rallying is going to be done for guardians and chambers. It's not going to be done for minions. So that's the biggest difference. You can rally with guardians, you can rally in chambers, but you cannot rally in minions. So plan accordingly. And let's see exactly how that works.
So let's say we've got this situation. We have a hero here with initiative 1, hero here with initiative 2, hero here with initiative 3. We have some enemies on the board, okay? Hero initiative with initiative 1 goes. Let's say that he wants to attack this minion, right? So this is a Orc Siegebreaker, right? Well, he can use his action, right, to move and attack it, right? That's an action. And he can move next to it, and he can attack it. No problem, all day long. But what he can't do is he can't say, okay, well, I want to attack him, but I'm going to need some help. So now I want to rally and also have this hero come help me at the same time. That's not how it works. He would have to do his own combat. If he did not kill the minion with his 2 actions, then he's done, right? And then this next hero would have to use her actions to move and engage and try to defeat that minion, okay? So instead, let's say that he's not here. Let's say that he's still there. We still have this 1 here, okay? So, and let's move this up just a smidge. There we go. So let's say that this hero wants to go into this chamber, okay? And he wants to go into this chamber and he wants to take whatever's in there out. He wants to fight whatever's in there. All right, the first thing that we need to do, we need to know that's important is if we decide to rally, we can only rally up to 2 other heroes. So you could actually have a total of 3 heroes helping out in this chamber. However, before we find out what's in this chamber, right, unless, I mean, obviously if you decide to play with them flipped up to make it, have that knowledge, then you're going to know, but let's assume that you don't. Before we find out what's in this chamber, and we say, okay, we're going to move, we're going to assume this is the door here, we're able to get in there. We have to make the decision then, are we going to rally any additional heroes? So because he's initiative 1, he could only possibly rally this hero and this hero. If there was somebody with initiative 4, 5, or 6, they could not be part of that rally scenario. All right, but let's assume that, in fact, he says, okay, I want to rally these heroes. So when you rally, what you're doing effectively is you're foregoing that hero's turn that they would normally get to try to have them in here in this chamber and to do the combat. So if we're going to rally the heroes, we pick, again, it can only be the next 2. So since he's initiative 1, he could rally 2 and 3. If you were initiative, say, 4, then you could rally initiative 5 and 6 because the other ones would have already gone. So we're going to flip their token over. And then what's going to have to happen is they're going to have to use their 2 actions to get in here into the chamber. Okay, so in this case, she's pretty close, right? So let's say that she rolls, a d6. Let's say she rolls a 6, she gets a 6, and she has +2 by default. Boom, she's in. But let's say that we choose to also rally this hero, but instead of her being this close, maybe she's way up here, just barely on the screen, okay? And in order for her to get all the way down here, right, she's going to have to move literally all the way down through here, all right? So we're going to have to use the 2 actions that she has to try to move and for her to try to get in here. So I've set this example up specifically so that you can see this. So let's say that she moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say she was able to move a total of 6. Okay, now here's the thing. First thing that's most important, okay? That doesn't necessarily have anything to do with rallying, but just as a reminder, we have a raid scenario. You know what, to make this example a little bit less confusing, let's just assume that there are no monsters around here. So we have the hero move with the first action, right, because they're rallied, because we flip this over. And then the second action, let's say they only roll enough to get here. Now remember, with movements, you can also use essence to move further. But let's say they didn't have any essence. This hero has failed to make it into this chamber. So this token being flipped over means that this hero does not have a turn. Okay. And when it comes to at the end of this combat, they're not going to get a turn. So they're not going to be able to be like, oh, I didn't make it, so now let me go do something else. No, they're done. During the hero phase, they only get their 2 actions. That's it. So they will not be able to participate in this chamber combat. So then we would process this hero would stay out here. Then we would, of course, do our normal combat. Flip this over. Okay, well, we got a level 2 monster. We draw the champion card and process combat like normal. But that is how rallying works. Rallying is definitely something that you're going to want to do because there are monsters that have lots of health. And you're going to want, that diversity in your warfare types in order to have the best chance for the combat, in order to have the best chance at winning. So, like I said, see the videos for combat and movement to get the details on how you would process this combat or, combat with a minion out here in the dungeon.
And again, just to stress, the rallying is for chamber combat and guardian combat. I didn't really show you the guardian combat outside here, but it works the same way as terms of moving, right? You're just, instead of moving into a chamber, you're moving your heroes towards the guardian. And of course, the same rules apply for raiding and tracking with the minions as you move, or tracking with the guardian as you move as well.
And hopefully that will help you guys out. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. That is Rallying in Dungeon Crusade, and I will see you, my friends, in